पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
போயிடலாம் ஸ்கோரர் யாரு அவரை மட்டைக்கு ஒரே விஷயம் ஸ்கோர் டிக்கே இருக்கு
the second run. Stops over that. And that's how the wonderful Sunday morning starts here. The culture that this brings out to be a wonderful venue, White Jersey Cricket Ground. We are watching this match happening. The Iron Fist season number 3, grand finale 20 overs cricket tournament that's been happening for a while at this venue with Corona Assaulters and All Black Cricket, where the teams to be promoted for this big stage. They formed really well throughout the tournament. The performance has been high intense, and this being the successful season number 3 of Iron Fist season number 3. So we've seen the performances of both the sides, with Corona Assaulters winning 5 out of 6 in the first league phase. Whereas when it comes to All Black, they had a bit of roller coaster ride in this tournament with 4 out of 6 losing 2 games. But it's to be very honest, in a big stages you can't much rely on statistics. Run out opportunity, wonderful running between the wicket. As we speak about both the sides' performance in this tournament, we'll begin with Corona Assaulters because they've been one of the dominant sides in this tournament. We've seen them performing well in the tournament right from the beginning. Even in the previous game against Dream 11, they won a wonderful battle, and just 22 runs difference. Batting first will always gives a little bit of edge to the teams in T20 format, especially when you've seen what happened in the previous day's night. A memorable day for all the Indians as India lived the World Cup, T20 World Cup, after 17 years. Catches the call, and that's taken. That's wicket number 1. Invited him to go for the pull shot, and that was a fielder at the deep square leg, which brings up the breakthrough. Joshua, the bowler, brings up the breakthrough here.
அப்படியே போங்க சைடுல பவுலர் வியூ. அந்த கோணம் அங்க இருக்குல்ல, சைடுல இருந்து.
That the weather looks breezy. Imagine it's a Sunday morning and the breezy weather, the right time and the right weather to play the game of cricket. And in Chennai, typically the weather would be slightly different, hot and humid, but that doesn't matter to the cricketers of Chennai. They've grown up watching such a kind of heat, and now this weather might be an offering for them. David, the new batter, David Proudfoot, in at number 3 for Corona Assaulters. We spoke about that journey in this tournament so far. It's been quite dominant performance so far, with just losing 1 game, and the rest of the games have been parceled completely by them. Height factor that advantages the bowlers. You could extract a bit of extra bounce. This wicket seems to be something that we have to look out for a couple of overs. We are not sure about the exact reaction of the conditions. While looking at that particular pull shot, seems like that had a bit of extra bounce. That may be because of the height factor of Joshua. He's looking really tall, a suitable height for a fast bowler, and gets that extra bounce that we're speaking about. will be really challenging to watch out for. And the attacking field positioning, they're having a sweeper cover at the deep and the deep square leg fielder. Mid-off and mid-on inside the circle. And this light protection will actually invite the batter to go for the cut shots and pull shots. Not having much of opportunities, this being played in the white ball. Now the wonderful delivery to complete the over. That's in the first over. Corona Assault is a 2 for 1 after 1. And speaking about the performance of Corona Assaulters, the one name that everyone should remember would be David Proudfit, as he is the leading run scorer so far in this tournament. 7 innings, 324 runs with an average of 64.80. And the most important thing in a T20 game is the strike rate. 162 is the strike rate, and that performance will be expected today. Wasim Akhtar, the new bowler, carries two big legendary names, known for fast bowling. And we've been speaking about what happened in the previous day's night, because it was one among the memorable moments to remember for Indian cricket fans, as India lifted up the T20 World Cup trophy after 17 years of drought. 10 years of waiting for an ICC trophy. What happens is, every single year numerously enormous numbers of cricket fans are adding on in this country. Now with these kind of victories, we'll be bringing up a bulge amount of fans. Display எந்த கேமரா இருக்கோ அதில் இருக்க ஆக்ஷன்ஸ் பற்றி பேசுவோம். வயர் வரும். சரி, ஓகே ஃபைன். Continues to bowl at the same areas. Discipline matters a lot. We're watching here, the players are taking things under control. The Kish outside edge, as he's not having a slip fielder. As we've been speaking about that cultural reactions of a team winning the World Cup, we've seen that happening after 1983 cricket got its boom in India. And obviously every single moment, 2003 got some emotional fan support. 2007 it was a drastical change when they were facing the traumatic 2007 50 over World Cup. And obviously 2011 brought in a lot more young next generation cricket fans. And that's how it goes. Victories like this are bringing a lot more younger generation fan base to the game, despite of whatever the format. And in this game too, we are watching the brand of cricket that they are playing has been quite good under control. You got to look back at the performances of these sides, because Corona Assaulters, we've been speaking about that performance for a long while, but in deep, when you look at the way how they had that journey in this tournament, because it's been happening for a long while, right from the beginning of this year, a long tournament this had been, so the form aspects must be kept in control. Corona Assaulters starting their account by beating up Panthers in a wonderful run chase. Yorker attempt from Wasim. This looks interesting. The Pacers doing the job for the side. And in this kind of weather, you can expect the Pacers to do their job really well, because there has been a bit of extra bounce. And the most important thing is, the weather looks breezy, so not much pressure for the bowlers. Nobody's sweating out. And this is the right kind of weather for the fast bowlers to enjoy their own brand of cricket. Another extra bounce. This supports the fast bowlers really well. And it's a fast bowler's delete as of what you've seen in the previous day's final. After the 24 runs over from Akshar Patel, the next 5 overs didn't even went for a single boundary, and that's where India made miracles. Under Hitman's captaincy, Jasprit Bumrah, Hardik Pandya, Arshdeep Singh, every other pacers did their job to the perfection. That shows the kind of quality that they had in that game. And these two batters were really dangerous. They had 214 runs partnership in their second match, and they are combining together again. And everyone knows that Joshua continues to bowl. The tall fast bowler catches the call, and that's dropped. That should have been taken. Opportunity for the next wicket, that's been put it down. And these boys are not easy to dismiss. They were big match winners. They are big performers. We've seen both of them scoring 90 plus runs in this tournament in an innings. Especially David Proudfoot is a centurion by himself. Lucky run for David Proudfoot here. Some positive atmosphere here as the fielders are backing up the drop catch. That's quite mandatory because you have to boost the confidence of a particular fielder despite of whatever happened to him. And the strong shout behind the stumps, and that's missing down the leg. You can't just ask a dump appeal for those kind of deliveries. But as being a wicketkeeper, traditionally we used to do this. We've seen Dinesh Karthik doing that rare often. Sometimes to confuse the on-field umpires by not giving white balls, and sometimes to earn that dismissal. Sangakkara used to do that. That comes out to be a cultural part of cricket in subcontinent regions. But if that extra bounce factor helps the batter to get some runs on the board, that goes for the boundary. A much needed boundary at this point of time. Just taking back a look at that shot, I won't say it's a better connection, but still he managed to score runs on the board. When there is no man standing at the fine leg, Joshua don't have any freedom to bowl at that area. You can't even bowl to the patch of the batter because you're not having a fine leg. Just waiting for the right balls to score runs on the board. Another catch call. This one reminds me of Sachin Tendulkar's dismissal against Pakistan in 2003 World Cup. The deadly Pakistani bowling attack. Shoaib Akhtar, Wasim Akram. Such a wonderful bowling attack Pakistan had. And what's most important is, look at that. Look at the extra bounce. That's why the batters were getting confused. Now all you have to do is to spend some time in the crease and what's working well, what's not working well. You can sometimes wait for the third bowler or the fourth bowler to attack, as the mainstream bowlers were looking good today. Beautiful shot that has been. And no chance for the fielder to stop that. Misfield it is, but wonderful shot selection. That goes for the boundary. And sometimes automatically what happens is, there is an inbuilt batter in you will expect that shot to go for the boundary, because it got the better connection. It was a wonderful timing and he slapped it well. Right from that moment the shot has been placed, I was thinking that it should go for the boundary. A typical batter's mindset. With all the respect to the fielders, this kind of eases out the pressure, because there wasn't enough width for the batters to cut the ball. He himself went into the back foot comfortably. The trust in the bounce works well here. Maybe if it continues condition today, we could see a wonderful work from the fast bowlers. Oh, strong appeal. Wonderful work behind the stumps. No signals on field umpire. But that's a wonderful line from Joshua. He's testing the patience of the batters to complete this over. That's 14 for 1 after 3.
அது ப்ரெஸ் பண்ணாத.
A wonderful punch through the covers. Now what Sham has to do is to give back strike to David Proudfoot. They have to target any of these bowlers, or you can be completely defensive to wait for the third bowler. Wasim Akbar continues to bowl. Gets a bit of inside edge, and no need to worry for that because that's a loose delivery that anyway goes for the boundary. And Wasim Akbar knows it, and he is walking back with a calm face. When you bowl full length deliveries, you'll be having 3 to 4 ways of that going for the boundary. That's how it happens. Maybe that drop catch is still running on the thoughts of every other fielders on field. We could clearly sense the sign of disappointment from Joshua even after completing that over. And now Wasim Akbar. It's actually psychologically playing on the minds of the bowlers because we had a bad chance of dismissing a centurion, the leading run scorer. Now, if it's not working out, what if it becomes a big innings, a whopping 90 or 100 in this big stage? A pull shot in front of wicket, no fielder standing at the deep as that travels a long way to go over the boundary ropes. A welcome boundary again, back-to-back boundaries here. He's getting himself comfortable in the back foot after watching all those extra bounce deliveries, trusting the conditions and going into the back foot even for good length deliveries. And this man is assessing the conditions really well. Look at that. And the placements were right. Interesting thing is he's playing those flat shots rather than going for height shots. When you try finding aerial route, you have a lot more opportunities of losing a wicket. So keeping that in mind, consciously he's playing those flat shots, slapping the ball. And some arrangements in the field here. Deep mid wicket has been placed, and there is a deep sweep cover. Square leg inside the circle, no man at the fine leg again. Short third man, backward point, cover point, extra covers mid off and mid on inside the circle. Typical power play field positioning. Still you could expect that extra bounce or a back of length deliveries as both mid off and mid on were standing inside the 30-yard circle. Maybe he can step out. Beautiful shot, and that's a wonderful try from the bowler. Should have taken, but not an easy one to take. You can easily blame any of the fielders, but not the bowler because he's a fast bowler and he can have just a microsecond to watch the ball. Good presence of mind from Wasim Akbar. Just a simple margin for error for the batters, and the fielders were waiting to grab the catch. And sometimes what happens is slightly this psychological game between the particular batter and the particular bowler. That's what exactly happening here. Both Joshua and Wasim Akbar were playing mind games with this man, David Proudfoot. Oh, you're going to pull me away? I'll bowl a different delivery. You're going to cut short? I'll bowl a different delivery. That's what's happening here. Now what will you do for this delivery? Oh, that's a full toss delivery. Plays at the deep, goes for the maximum, beating up the sweeper cover fielder. Again a simple margin for error for the bowlers too. If you just miss your line or length, then you will be punished for boundaries, and this is becoming an expensive over. Look at the way how this over have got started with an single and an inside edge boundary, a boundary in front of wicket as a pull shot. Now at the sweeper cover region, almost 16 runs in this over with one more to go. As the skipper is having a chat with Wasim Akhtar. Surely they can come back with a confidence. Sometimes what happens is they'll try to place the long on fielder and try to attack the stumps. But I couldn't see any change in the field positioning. Still they're having a sweeper cover at the deep and a deep mid-wicket fielder. So you can expect the same kind of deliveries. The line might be changing, but it's gonna be good length or the back of length delivery. Oh, he's yorking it and the strong shout. Surprising delivery. Even the batter got surprised with a slight bit of movement inside the ball. Dot ball to end this over. That's 16 runs coming off the over. It's 30 for 1. As you could see, no change in the bowler. Joshua's getting the ball again to bowl his third over in the power play. It may sometimes be the voluntary decision of the bowler. If it impacts the ego of the bowler, he'll try to dismiss the batter again and again. Maybe that's running on the thoughts of Joshua because he had a wonderful opportunity to dismiss David. So he will come back stronger to do the same again. And this battle is getting a peak. A Sham on strike now. And he is clearly given the authority to rotate the strike. He's planning to make it a longer innings. He knows David is in good touch. And he's planning to give it back to David. Now what happens is if you continue to bowl a couple of dot balls to this man, he might eventually get out of his game plan and try going for the big shots. That's how we could psychologically impact a bowler, right? That's what they're doing too here. A wonderful approach from All Blacks cricket. They're bringing an in-circle fielder, just one fielder standing at the deep, just to make sure Sham is not rotating the strike. They're inviting to Sham to go for the big shot. And it's actually triggering Sham. Sham is not interested to go for the big shot. Now what happens is, either Sham might get out of his comfort zone. He might go for a big shot and eventually lose his wicket. Or Joshua. Joshua might alter his length to invite Sham to go for the big shot. Punches cover drives to go for the boundary. Trying to find the aerial route. Joshua was slightly successful in that decision, but still somehow Sham rotated the strike. So keeping Sham on strike again and again might give you two kind of results, with one being a dismissal. All the heats were happening in the middle as the previous over went for 16 runs. Crucial thing is in the third over they dropped a catch at the short third man for David Proudfoot. Joshua was the bowler. That might be running on the thoughts of all the other fielders because such a dangerous batter David had been so far in this tournament. Look at that. Look at the sensibility. He's just going defensive against one of the best bowlers in the lineup, waiting for the rest of the bowlers to come on to the action. And that's what the most of the greatest batters will do. That describes the quality of greatest batter. 99 batters will take the decision that rest of the batters will take, and that one batter who stays outstanding will take some unique decisions. You should not be with what you did so far in the game, and this man is not getting carried away. The biggest impact that India did in the T20 World Cup is using Akshar Patel in the power play. That had been an inclined formula for them. Maybe it might not be working well in the finals, especially the left arm spinners in the power play or the left arm spinners in the new ball. We've seen plenty of left arm spinners, someone like obviously Akshar Patel, Krunal Pandya, Ravindra Jadeja, rest of the left arm spinners did a wonderful job. We'll speak about that in the next over. 5 overs completed, 34 for 1. It's 34 for 1. Corona Assaltus. As we're speaking about the left arm spinners and their impact in the T20 format, you can see two big teams made in the finals were having left arm spinners, with Keshav Maharaj bringing up the early breakthrough for South Africa by dismissing the key batter of India. So in Chennai's cricketing culture, India's cricketing culture, we couldn't see much of spinners dominating the T20 formats, especially in this level of cricket, probably in gully cricket or so-called professional cricket. I think that's something that's been missing out in Chennai's raw cricketing culture. The grassroots level of cricket is missing the aspect of spinners doing the magic. Maybe the trust on the spinners is still not out there. I could barely reconnect those memories of my captain not giving over to the spinners just because the ground's dimensions were very small, or sometimes he's not trusting the spinners might be consuming a lot more runs. That eternal trust on the fast bowlers were not naturally coming for the gully cricketers. Maybe that's the biggest drawback. We've never seen gully cricketers, spinners making it from gully cricket. That should be improved from this level. Maybe some teams might be having spinners, but most of these kind of cricketing teams will barely depend on the fast bowlers. Especially in the power play, they'll never use spinners, they'll never take that risk. But trust me, spinners will have a lot more damage, will create a lot more damage. Sometimes you have to take that risk of using the spinners in the power play. It may sometimes be an expensive over, or it may sometimes be that breakthrough that you're looking for. And change of pace might disturb the batter's rhythm. But as of now, we are not sure. To bowl the last over of this Sivaram, a new fast bowler. Now the wonderful pacer teams that's through the covers no matter what. Whoever may come, I'll play my brand of cricket, says David Proudfoot. Another boundary through the covers. That shows the kind of quality that he is having. He went defensive against Joshua, one of the key bowlers, who completed his third over. Now he is attacking the third bowler. Maybe the rest of the bowlers too will be attacked. And that's why I said spinners are much more important in these games. The trust factor should be improved from the ground level. When he made, people were not straight away becoming his fan, but before that, that's an aerial route over the bowler's head, and that travels a long way to go for the first max out foot. That one drop catch is not using that bounce factor, is not pressing the ball much, is not using those cross seams. Maybe sometimes what happens is the bowlers will be getting tempted by those stumps. Why can't we attack the stumps? Why can't we try for the Yorker? And the batters will take it for granted. Change of pace. That's read well by David. He's looking in good touch. He's having a wonderful mind space where he's watching the ball and reading the lens really well. That mind space is called, ladies and gentlemen, a good form. We've been speaking about the eternal culture of the fast bowlers making it from the rural areas of India, right? Someone like Natarajan, who came from gully cricket, tennis ball cricket. Because what happens is, India have this raw power. You can't call that barbarian, but at the same time, it's gigantic power. That's what Mahendra Singh Dhoni showed. That's what someone from Haryana came. Kapil Dev, the bloody slogger mentioned in the 83 movie. So India's having that natural power, that energy, that willpower to hit it away, and that's what they're having. A wonderful pacers in the gully cricket level. But when it comes to spin attack, it's something that you can call it as Chanakya idea, because all you have to do is to play the mind game as a spinner. Maybe that's not coming into the rural backdrops. That's one of those reasons why we're watching those hit the deck bowlers attacking the stumps and breaking the stumps, but not playing much of mind games. The numbers were very, very less comparing to the fast bowlers. The amount of spinners making it to the big level from ground stages. End of power play. It is 45 for 1.
கிடைக்கலன்னா சொல்லுங்க, நம்மளுக்கு கேமராக்கு மரத்துக்கு
Finally, we are watching a spinner that we're speaking about. A left arm spinner diagonal round the wicket. And that's a base for flying up. This is what we've been speaking about. A change of pace. A revolution in the ball can bring a revolution in the game. As a set batter, David Proudfoot is walking back to the pavilion, trying to go for the big shot. The change of pace worked here. Wonderful innings coming to an end, to be very honest. 36 of 22 balls with 5 boundaries and 2 sixes. Aravind brought in the breakthrough that they're looking for. Okay.
2-3 seconds வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க. வெயிட் பண்ணிங்கன்னா இங்கே கீழே வந்து ரீப்ளே சேவ்டுன்னு அந்த இது வரும். அதுக்கப்புறம் செட் கொடுங்க.
சரிங்க. எஸ் கொடுத்தா திரும்ப வந்துடும். எக்ஸ் 45 for 2. Kurana assaults as Bharadwaj, the new batter in at number 4, the left-handed batter, psychologically attacking them. Left-handed batter against a left-arm spinner has been traditional trust on the cricketing captains not to use two right-handers against a left-arm spinner. And I could hardly remember that one interview of Shahbaz Nadeem, one of the top-class left-arm spinners of India. He used to say that all you have to do is try and attack the stumps again and again and wait for the batters to make the mistakes. That's what happened in the previous dismissal. As left arm spinners, you can't have much purchases every single day. It's all about waiting for the batters to do the mistakes. So be on the stump line, bowl stump to stump. Bold and LBWs were the eternal strengths of left arm spinners. Now the responsibilities were falling down towards Shyam. In the next 13 overs, you have to try and bring the maximum impact in the game. Look at that front and back confusions. It's actually adding a lot more pressure for Shyam as well as the rest of the batters of Corona Assaulters, because what happens is when you continue playing a lot more big paces, you love playing against big pace deliveries. So pace will never be a big issue for you, but spin and the flight and these kind of deviations will bring the magic for the side. That's what exactly happening here. Just taking back a look at that. Slight bit of flighted delivery. Desperately stepped out and beaten by the flight and turn. Aravind Brogdon the breakthrough again. Back-to-back breakthroughs in this over. That's 46 for 3 as Shyam walks back to the pavilion. Bhargav, the new batter, had been a dramatical over. A dream over for any left arm spinner. Just came in, conquered and dismissed the two set batters. Now Corona Assaulters have to begin from the start. Another strong shout as the fingers were going up. Another wicket it is. Back-to-back wicket it had been. Beautiful performance from All Blacks cricket. Just taking back a look at that dismissal. Slight bit of arm ball as Bhargav was not expecting that. Skidding on to the batter. And straight away fingers gone up. 46 for 4 Corona Assaulters. 3 wickets in that previous over. New batter Vijay in at number 6 for Corona Assaulters. Would have never expected this will happen this early. Just imagine when the power play got its end. Just 1 wicket for Corona Assaulters. Now after the 7th over, things were completely changed. Vijay would have never expected him to be on the crease. In the 8th over, strong shouts. That's missing down the leg. Bit of miscommunication between the batters. And finally they are walking back with a single as Sivaram continues to bowl. Now he'll be pretty relaxed and will be bowling with full of confidence as both the set batters were gone, especially David, who thrashed him for boundaries in the previous over. That's why the importance of long innings matters a lot. You have to score runs on the board, you have to score boundaries, but at the same time, you have to stay till the end. You can't expect the rest of the batters to have the same form on the particular day. So if a batter gets a good rhythm, gets a proper timing, he have to make that into a longer innings. That's a traditional Indian batting looks like. That's what Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli did for a very long time, and that legacy came to end yesterday. Cognitive reaction by the batter as that travels a long way for the boundary. Goes over the boundary ropes. That brings 50 up here for Corona Assaulters. Just raises over the boundary ropes for the boundary. Taking things into control. Lucky boundary here for Corona Assaulters as Vijay is yet to get off the mark. Getting off the mark with that single, Vijay. They have to bring it to the next level. The partnership might be kept in control. In fact, the partnership must be kept in control. If they bat together for the next 7 to 8 overs, they can set the tone, they can set the platform, and they could easily make it to 140s or 150s. I'm not sure whether it's a par score or not, but as of today's condition, that's why they could go. Gets a bit of inside edge. Has no chance for the fielder to stop that. Good try. Tried till the end. Not sure whether it's a boundary or not, but that effort is appreciable. As everyone clapping for the fielder, just taking back a look at that. Previous deliveries. Fielding, look at that. Fumble and then tried his best. That's where he's tried to save that, going for the boundary. Just 2 runs. Just taking things into control. Somewhere the runs were getting leaked against Sivaraman. There's one more to complete this over. Corona Assaulters 54 for 4. The start that they would have never expected. The power play has been quite convincing for Corona Assaulters. Just 1 wicket in the power play. But after the power play, things went out of their control. And a soft hand dot ball to end this over. That's 54 for 4 after 8. .54 for 4. As everyone knows, the bowler continues would be Arvind, the left arm spinner who created that magic by picking 3 wickets in single over. A dream start for any left arm spinner. And this morning is his morning, and he's enjoying his own brand of cricket. We could expect a 5-4 from the bowler, and more than that too. In case if these batters are planning to build the partnership, they have to focus on this left arm spinner. Not to attack, but to be very careful, because it will be really challenging against such a set bowlers. You can't just go against such a set bowlers. You must be defensive. You must try scoring some 20 runs in his entire spell, and you could attack the rest of the bowlers. That's how the formula works. That's how everything will be taken in control. As Aravind continues to bowl. Look at the weather over there, the tree behind that ground. It's a village surrounding at the outskirts of Chennai. A breezy weather surrounded by agricultural lands. Such a wonderful place to play the game of cricket. The weather has been so cool as of Bengaluru. Quite good under control. We're speaking about the partnership factor that needs to be kept in control.
In between overs and wickets.
Flight to delivery, another close opportunity. Might be he was expecting that to be a stumping or a feather on the bat. We're not sure about that, but something is happening in his over. It's really challenging for the batters to play against someone like Arvind. The biggest mistake that most of the batters are doing is stepping out blindly without reading the ball. Left arm spinners were not that easy. And you can't take such a kind of risk against left arm spinners. They'll easily dismiss the batters, and this relationship between the wicketkeeper and the left arm spinner, sometimes the wicketkeepers will keep on giving some hints to the left arm spinners because they exactly know whether the batter is planning to step out or not. In case if the batter is planning to step out, the wicketkeepers might be giving some signals to the left arm spinners, not just left arm spinners, to all the spinners, and the bowlers will react according to that. And in case if it becomes the stumping, that will become a memorable performance from them. Sweet memories of wicketkeeper spinner understanding. A single to end this over. That's 58 for 4. For 4, Corona Saltus. After 9 overs, that had been a dramatical journey so far. At some point of time, we've seen the Corona Saltus assaulting the bowlers of All Blacks cricket. And Aravind brought in a different result altogether. Now a quick arm ball from Praveen to begin his account. An off spinner into the attack against the left-handed batter. So from now, it's going to be spinners in action as the ball is getting its revolution. We spoke a lot about impacts of left-arm spinners and the rest of the spinners did to T20 cricket. Even when you take back a look at the way how IPL statistics were saying, we've seen Yuzvendra Chahal being one of the top wicket takers of IPL, Sunil Narine, Rashid Khan, Kuldeep Yadav, and obviously Harbhajan Singh at some point of time, Ravichandran Ashwin. A lot more spinners when you take down a look at the most economical bowlers, most wicket takers in top 10. You could see spinners dominating the list. That's just because of one reason. Most of the cricketers, most of the batters across the world were always underestimate the efforts of spinners. Another easy one here. In fact, I got a bit of excited. That's not a drop, that's not a catch. Speaking about the underrated impact of spinners, some captains have trust in spinners, especially some European cricketers like Owen Morgan have continuously trusted spinners in subcontinent conditions. But most of the Indian captains, most of the outside captains are not having that trust. That's a dismissal. While speaking about that, the quick delivery from Praveen, taken the bails away from the stumps. Look at that. Easy one as the bails are gone out from the stumps. Wicket number 5 here as Vijay is walking back to the pavilion. 59 for 5. Screaming room, screaming room, cooking room. As you could see, the players are getting some hydration break. Korean, the new batter. In at number 7, a lot more to do. That's the biggest challenge of being a middle order batter. You'll never know when you're gonna get bat and what kind of scenario you're gonna face. So now you have to come into the 10th over. You have to take some control on the innings. And some other day you have to come on the 18th over to go for some big shots. And some other day you have to come on to the 7th over to build a big innings. So being a middle order batter is not that easy. You have to be prepared for all the mind games. You should never get a plan as your homework, because you never know what you are going to get. But for openers, it's a complete impact. So you know what you're gonna do the next day. So you'll be preparing for that. As Praveen continues to bowl, he's really quick as the ball is getting onto the stumps. The batters must be very careful against such kind of bowlers. Now, when you keenly observe the performance of All Blacks cricket so far, you could clearly witness the damage done by the spinners. That's why I said spinners were always holding a lot more impact in the T20 format. A dot ball to end this over. That's 10 overs, 59 for 5. Now this is gonna be interesting, as we are going to witness Aravind from a straight view. For every 5 overs the ends will be changing. The previous 5 overs went on to be at the opposite end. Now with the open end, where Aravind will be giving clear view of his bowling action. It'll be interesting to watch out with the way how Aravind is going to perform for the next 2 overs. Still having slightly bit of edge to dismiss the batter. As Corona Assaulters won the toss, they had decided to bat first, but they have never expected these kind of twist in this game, as 2 spinners will damage the entire innings. Just 6 runs conceded by spinners and 4 wickets taken by spinners. Remove those 6 runs and 4 wickets. You know what's the scorecard, right? Some 53 for 1. So that's where the damage is for being done. As he continues to bowl Aravind. Another beautiful thing in this venue is, rather than giving stone benches or wooden benches, they have provided a lot more mango trees surrounded by this ground, taking us back to the 19th century cricket in England, where there'll be trees. Under those trees, the players and audiences will be watching and enjoying the game. Looks like a firm batter, Korean. Maybe a pinch hitter, because at number 7 you'll always have a pinch hitter with a proper 6 hitting style. Look at that. He's looking fit, he's looking energetic. It seems like he's having a lot more power. So it's all about the situation that you're batting. It's not the situation that demands power hitting. Soft-handed push from Korean. It's a situation that demands a smooth partnership for the next 4 to 5 overs. At the same time, you need big hitting too. You can't just rely on those 120s and 130s against such teams like All Blacks cricket. You must score more than 145 or 150 to fight back in the second innings. Just a replay of similar kind of deliveries, it seems, as he's having a complete protection in that region. Short third man, backward point, point fielder, cover point, and he's bowling outside the off stump. So phenomenally, he's moving the game in one direction, and Korean is a part of that. Dot ball to end this over. That's 60 for 5 after 11. Just single run on that over. Heading back to what we're speaking about, right from the way how they began this innings, this is not the regular day at work for Corona Assaulters. They had scored 214 for no loss in 20 overs in one of their games. From there, now you could see the scorecard 60 for 5. Beautiful connection that had been, and that goes for a massive sixer. Wonderful shot selection from the man who had been trusted. Just taking back a look at that beautiful shot from Bharadwaj. Waited for a very long time for such kind of deliveries. Now I could sense the mindset of the bowler. He'll completely go for the on ball. Look at that. After watching Praveen for so long time, I could easily read that his strong zone is on ball and he will try bowling on ball. Unfortunately, now Bharadwaj is getting in the non-strikers end. Waited for some time. This is interesting to watch Utpa. He was waiting for the batter whether he's stepping out or not. I think arm ball is something that's working well for him, and he's continuing to bowl that. Korean knows that at any point of time this man might bowl an arm ball, and finally he's getting up the mark for the single after 5 consecutive dot balls. $69 for 5. I could see some forward press from Bharadwaj. Just taking back a look at that strike. Look at that stance. He's leaning forward and stretching himself forward. Look at that. A typical English batter's delight. But tried something cheeky, as that offers a couple of runs on the board as the fielder chasing down the ball. The wonderful running between the wickets, trying to act protective. and adding a lot more stress on Praveen's head. As you could see, Praveen is not looking in right rhythm that he is looking for. $71 for 5. With one more to complete this over. Good way to start this over. Right from the first ball they attack the bowler. That kind of improving a lot more impacts in this game. Another cheeky attempt, another paddle sweep at the final leg region as the fielder is chasing down the ball. Another couple of runs on the board. This looks like a bit of expensive over. That had 13 runs in this over. That's 73 for 5. $73 for 5. Continues to bowl Arvind. To bowl his last over. Will there be any magics happening in the middle? And what happens is when you start picking up wickets, the batters will be much more careful against you. It's not going to be the same as your first over. In fact, that first over was the only over he got wickets. That's just because of one reason, that sometimes it's easy to dismiss the greatest batters too, but it's very hard to dismiss the tail enders. When you have the stability, that willpower to stay in the crease, that stubborn mindset, you can't just break that. You could only dismiss a batter when he is having that urge to score runs on the board, that he's trying to do something different. The one batter who's having a stable mindset will never lose his wicket. It's really challenging for any batters, especially for the set bowlers. Sometimes the key batters will go defensive against Jasprit Bumrah, and that's one of those reasons why Jasprit Bumrah is not picking much wickets as Arshdeep Singh. That's what's happening to Arvind here. They are very careful against Arvind. They're not even showing any intent to score runs against Arvind. Maybe that's a big advantage for him, but at the same time, if you dismiss 1 or 2 wickets before the 15th over, you could restrict them under 110. Keeping that in mind, they have to work hard, especially this man, Korean, on screen. Korean looks like a dangerous batter, the way how he stands, the way how he watches the ball. He's having that physique to deliver things. Strong defense, solid defense that had been at the 13th over of a match. Kudos to Arvind, of course. But of extra bounce, the placement was not much apt, and he's not getting connection that he is looking for. Will be just a single. I can hardly recollect the memories of what happened against Joshua, one of the key bowlers of All Blacks cricket. He tried his efforts to dismiss the batters, but the fast bowlers, Wasim Akbar and Joshua, started well but conceded some runs in the lateral pot. Trying to go for the big shot, as he couldn't get the connection. just a single 4 runs so far in this over, with one more to complete this over. And that will be the end of Arvind's spell. A wonderful spell that's gonna come to an end. We were expecting for a 5-4 from Arvind. This seems to be an impossible task to accomplish at this point of time, as the batters were looking very confident against someone like Arvind. The solid defense from Arvind, as that brings the end to this over. 3 for 9 is the number for Arvind after his 4 overs. 3 for 10 in fact. That's 77 for 5. Change of bowling. Wasim Akhtar replacing the off spinner we've seen so far in this game. Still having some overs to complete, but has been moving to the fast bowlers now. All Blacks cricket are taking some great decisions. Intentions were to attack the stumps, but that's not acting as if expected. Both Kurian and Bharadwaj were trying to improvise things from here, because just 7 more overs, 41 balls left in this innings. They have to target more than 135, or if possible 150 would be good total to watch out for. But as of now it looks like it's gonna be 120 or 125. These batters couldn't make the impact that they're looking for. It's all about the psychological impact that you're having in the game. Wasim Akhtar continues to bowl. It's his 3rd over. Swings and misses out as that goes to the white ball. This is not something that we're speaking about, because there has been a statement that tailenders in India most of the time will be just the bowlers, the pure bowlers. They'll never focus on batting. But that should be changed. Tailenders are now batting. Swings and misses out. Slight bit of pressure for Kurian right from the beginning of this innings. He's struggling hard to score runs on the board. Slight bit of desperation too. Just by keeping every other factors in mind, catches the call. But that goes behind the fielders as the fielder chasing down the ball. Wonderful stop at the deep. Good teamwork. He'll be fetching a couple of runs on the board. Wasim Akhtar is still bowling at the right areas, inviting the batter to go for the cover drives and full shots, which means fuller length shots. Such a wonderful mindset this has been. Extra bounce again. Even the wicketkeeper got a bit of hesitation. Now where should they focus on? Is it towards the wicket column or towards the dot ball? in my point of view, I'll definitely go on towards the wicket column, because if you give much time to these batters, they're looking like a set batters. They'll somehow make things up at the end phase of the innings. All you have to do is dismiss the batters as early as possible. You should never expect the batters to take things under control. Just 6 runs coming off this over, 5 runs coming off this over so far. With one more to complete this over, Bharadwaj on strike. Will he go for the big shot, as he is showing some intent in a regular interval of time? Steps out and trying to go for the big shot, catches the call, and no chance for the fielder to stop that. Goes for the boundary, over the boundary ropes. As for expectations, the intent to go for the big shot is working well for Bharadwaj. Boundary to end this over. That's 86 for 5. Just taking back a look at that shot, it had raised down for the boundary. Praveen continues to bowl his third over. Just pushing it for the dot ball. The batters must be very careful against such bowlers, because sometimes the captain, if he trusts Praveen, he can use him in the 19th over too, because of the quickness that he's having on the game. Lucky runs here behind the stumps. Adding to what we're speaking about, those quick runs by arm balls will be working really well. Couple of runs in the board. $88 for 5. Continues to bowl Praveen. Will it be an arm ball? Because he set me that kind of expectation. That's what I'm expecting things to be quite under control. But Praveen looks like a wonderful leggy. Sometimes he's fighting the ball, he's trying to turn the ball, he's trying to bring up a lot more revolution in the game. A good partnership, and a much needed partnership at this point of time for the 6th wicket. It's 30 plus partnership between these two batters, both Bharadwaj and Kurian, taking up the responsibility after the crisis. Imagine, it was 59 for 5 at one point of time. From there on, it looks like 89 for 5 now. Praveen was the previous bowler to dismiss the batter. Still struggling hard by attacking the stumps again and again. Beautiful stop from the fielder. Will be just a single. In fact, not just going for the single. Quite good under control, saving 3 runs for his side. Looks out to be in good touch here, as Praveen is trying to check the patience of these batters, tempting them to go for the big shots. Not even a single quick or arm ball. Most of those deliveries are slow and flighted through the air. And that's clean bowl, cleaning him up, inviting him to go for the big shot. That intent works well, as Kurian walks back to the pavilion for 7 runs, not having the impact that he is looking for. Just taking back the previous dismissal flighted slot delivery, not bouncing much, it's getting onto the stumps. Wonderful work from Praveen. Wicket number 2 for him. 90 for 6 Corona Saltus. New batter, Sandeep Anand, in at number 8. And in the modern day cricket, in at number 8 batters will bat really well. There shouldn't be that one aspect called lift, a pure bowler. And most of the times, if this happens in a cricket field, that could add a lot more impact on the game in terms of taking some risk in the power play. 15 overs completed, 90 for 6. Overs 90 for 6 as we are officially entering into the death overs. The last 5 overs where the hurry-burry run scorings, quick shots, inside edges, outside edges, everything will be taken in control. End of the day, it's all about the number game, how many runs you could make in the last 5. Considering the kind of damage is done so far in this innings, 6 wickets gone with one set batter, they could try scoring 40 or 45 plus in the last 5. And catch is the call. That easily goes over the boundary ropes for the boundary. Welcome boundary here. Starting off the death overs with the boundary. Bharadwaj the batter. Just taking back a look at that shot. The intention for Joshua is to attack the stumps. And that's been glided at the right area. The placement was right as it travels a long way for the boundary. Beautiful stroke making from Bharadwaj. Bharadwaj has to bat for a long time. He have to complete the innings, then it will be possible to make 135 or more. Bit of extra bounce again. This is what he's known for, Joshua, right from the beginning of this innings. He's been bowling really well. And obviously he deserves to be a wicket taker. That one drop catch against David that costed a couple of runs for them. Some 20 to 30 runs in no time. As those aspects must be kept in control as Joshua continues to bowl. Catches the call, but that beats the fielder comfortably, goes for the boundary. Another boundary in this over. And this is easing out the pressure. Look at the placement. Just opening the bat face as no third man was standing at the deep. Wonderful placement that had been. Playing some innovative cricket, because sometimes what happens is some batters will manually go for certain shots that been animatedly known for playing in the death overs. The most important one is the slog sweep. Slog sweep or the straight shot or the one through the covers, helicopter shots, or sometimes going for those cheeky attempts of what AB de Villiers used it to do. But this is the real brand of cricket. You have to watch the ball, and from that you have to find the loopholes to score runs on the board. The previous one was the placement, and the last boundary was a smart work. Now the cheeky one. I appreciate the efforts of Bharadwaj. He's not going against the bowler. He's not stepping out. He's not going for long on. He's not going for deep mid wicket. He knows that were fielders standing at the deep to grab those opportunities, because what is the gap factors of working? Straight away there has been a change of fielder. Look at that. The man with the yellow t-shirt is running at the fine leg area to restrict the batter from playing that scoop shot or paddle sweep. Now no man standing at the extra covers within the 30-yard circle and at the deep, and the intentions were towards the extra covers. That's one of those reasons why Joshua plays the fielder from extra covers to fine leg. Quite good over so far. This had been 9 runs coming off this over with one more to go. Sandeep Anand on strike, taking off his guards, coming on to the placement. 3.5 overs, 1 for 24. Joshua maintained a wonderful number so far in this game. Will it be 2 for 24? Let's try and watch. Last ball of Joshua's over. In fact, one more to go, to be very honest. That's a thickish inside edge. Will be fetching just a single with one more to complete this over. 26 for 1. One for 6. Beautiful shot through the covers, catches the call, and that's taken as a long on fielder does no mistake to dismiss the batter. Set batter is gone as Bharadwaj, 34 of 25 balls. That cameo or a saving knock is coming to an end finally. Look at that. Intention is to go through the covers, but there wasn't much pace in the ball. They travelled at the long off region and couldn't make much distance over that. 101 for 7. Corona assault is after 16, and the spell comes to an end for Joshua. Now the last 4 overs. What would be the final total for All Blacks cricket to win the game? Vijay Damal, the new batter, in at number 9 for Corona. Praveen to bowl his last over, trusting the spinner by giving him the 17th over. It's quite inspiring to watch, because Praveen is not that regular spinner, except the previous over, which went on to be a wonderful over for him, where he flighted the ball really well. Bowled to the right areas tempted the batters to go for the big shots and dismiss them. But this is a different story. The close call as Vijay Damal is new to the crease. Any one of these batters must act like a set batter. It may be Sandeep Anand as he's watching things with the non-strikers in. Catch is the call, as that's a grounded shot from Vijay Demal, which has the single. Quick delivery, wonderful effort from Praveen. He's also maintaining good numbers at the end comparing to the way how Advin did so far in this innings. Look at that, 2 for 17 for him in 3.4 overs with 2 more to complete his spell. The dot ball has been wonderful so far again, Praveen. Right, dot ball to end this over. That's 103 for 7. A wonderful spell completed by Praveen, 2 for 17 in 4 overs. Has been one of the pick of the bowlers to watch out for along with Joshua and Arvind. Clean bowled as the stumps are flying off. Sivaram, the bowler, started off with a wonderful Yorker aiming the stumps. And that worked well for him, earning him that wicket that he is looking for. Look at that one. A simple delivery to dismiss the batter. That's wicket number 8. 103 for 8 as the batter walks back to the pavilion. New batter with a seared. Maybe big names like Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, MRF and Seat. And that's how brand values work in India. That's how brand ambassadors came. Now the attempted Yorker, he's very good in executing those Yorkers. Sivaram. Wonderful performance from Sivaram as Raghav, the new batter, straight away got off the mark with a single. Such a wonderful performance from the bowlers of All Blacks cricket, right from the way how they started the power play. It was 45 for 1 after the power play, and they had 2 set batters. Now look at the scorecard, it's 104 for 8. From Nova to here, they made miracles on the field. This is unnecessary effort from Sivaraman as he conceded some runs on the board. Wonderful effort at the deep. That's not going to go for the boundary. Beautiful work from the fielder. Sivaram should have continued bowling those Yorkers. Take back a look at that. Chasing, and he have done it. Kudos to the fielder. 3 runs came on that ball. Good running between the wickets as Corona assaulters. The possibilities of 145 is getting reduced as the risk factors were not much impactful today. The batters were looking much defensive, and you can't expect more than 130. And 130 will also be a cushion for them. That's a luxury for them at this point of time. Strong shouts. No, Sivaram is not getting convinced. He believes that it's plumb in front of wicket. And that's how it happens sometimes when you're a fast bowler. It triggers you to trust that it's a wicket. It may be true sometimes, it may not be true sometimes. Rohit Sharma in one of his interviews said that I'll never look at the face of a bowler because out of excitement he believed that it's a dismissal. So for a review I'll always look at the wicketkeeper behind the stumps, because excitement is something that could make you to take some bad decisions. But whereas for on-field, that brings us to the end of this wonderful over from Sivaraman. .108 for 8 Corona assaulters. They won the toss. They had decided to bat first. Got a good power play, but after the power play the wickets got fumbled in the middle. Just slided like a pack of cards. Wasim Akhdar to complete his spell. 3 overs 0 for 26. The first 2 overs of Wasim Akhdar has been wonderful, as his third over went on to be quite a bit expensive. Both Raghav and Sandeep Anand were trying to come out of this crisis, but what happens is this crisis is quite challenging for them because it's gonna take you out from this game. Just pushing hard for singles, not much impactful in terms of going for big shots and making it to 140s. 125 even looks like a challenging score at this point of time. They need 15 of 10 to make it possible, but as of now we are watching batters just rotating the strikes. That's what all they could do at this point of time. Just bowling at the hard lengths, trying to attack the stumps. Wasim Akhdar. The score is in 111. Nelson it is. And every time when Nelson comes on screen, there might be some unluckiest things will happen or something unexpected will happen on the field. That's a trust of cricketing fraternity. In fact, to be very honest, it's a superstition. Swings and misses out. Another wonderful effort behind the stumps. Two venues here, two grounds were hosting different kind of cricket matches. In White Jersey cricket ground, in which we are in the ground 2. It's providing breezy atmosphere with this white ball cricket. Thickish outside edge as that gets the fielder. With one more to complete this over, 112 for 8. Just 4 runs came in this over. Last ball of this over to complete the spell for Wasim Akdar. Plays through the covers. Wonderful shot, and that's got the connection that they're looking for. Goes for a maximum to complete the over. And that's a much needed maximum from Corona Assaulters. Just taking back a look at that shot as it is being attacked as a fuller length deliveries played through the covers. Beautiful shot selection, and the placement was right as it went for maximum. 0 for 36 from Wasim Akdar. That's 19 overs completed. 118 for 8 now. Corona Assaulters can now make it over 130s if they try scoring 12 plus runs. That could psychologically a good total to fight on in the second inning. Something to fight as they know the winning formula. They had a wonderful journey in this tournament so far, so they could make it possible. Sivaram to complete the first innings, the last over. Miscommunication and run out opportunity as the fingers goes up. The story coming to an end. A bit of miscommunication to go for the single as that went on to be a run out in the middle. And this is what we're speaking about. Slight bit of misfield. Still made it possible. That's 118 for 9 now. Corona Assaulters. Right, the last batter of Corona Assaulters. I mean it. 5 more balls, 12 or more to get psychologically good total. And Sivaram with the ball. What will happen? Ratna, the new batter, will be taking the strike. Sandeep Anand must be standing at the non-strikers end. Wonderful work from Ratna. Straight away getting off the mark with that single. Expecting Sandeep Anand to go for some big shots. In this last over, all expectations on him. 119 for 9 Corona Assaulters. Just few overs damaged the entire first innings. That 1 over of Arvind especially holds a lot more impact because 3 wickets in that over. That's something that fumbled Corona Assaulters in the middle, as they couldn't come out of that crisis. The recovery is very hard if you get such kind of damages in the initial phase of the innings. Another easy one, as Sandeep Anand couldn't go for big shots at all as he's rotating the strike again. Still there are possibilities of them making it to 130s. Catch is the call as the fielders converging together, and that's a misfield. Offers extra runs on the board, couple of runs, and these runs are very important in the second innings, are going to be important. We are not sure what's going to happen in the second innings. Keeping those things in mind, they must be very careful. It's 122 for 9 now. The last ball of the first innings to be bowled. Sivaram maintained a wonderful number, 1 for 23 in 3.5 overs. Excellent performance. And that's the last ball. Swings and misses out as the strong appeal. Not sure whether it's a dismissal or not, but they are not getting a run for this, as Corona Assaulters were completing the first innings 122 for 9 with David, the top run getter, 36 in the innings. Wonderful numbers for Sivaraman, 1 for 23. Arvind bowled really well. Both the spinners, those 8 overs of spinners brought the magic. as All Blacks cricket need just 123 runs to win the game. I'm not sure whether it's just or 123. It's about the way how Corona assaulters are gonna begin the innings with the ball. Let's wait and watch in the second innings on how this chase is going to happen. Right, the second inning started here as Corona Assault has completed the first innings for 122 for 9. Now All Blacks cricket required 123 to win the game, with Raghavan and Dinesh Narayanan at the openers and Raghav with the ball. We've exactly seen the damages done by the spinners in the previous innings, and they'll be looking down to do the same in this innings. Corona Assaulters might be looking forward to use the spinners as early as possible to bring that early breakthrough, as this being a low target defense, not an easy one for someone like Corona Assaulters, because if you have 135 or more, you could defend the total by fighting back, but 123 at some point of time, any one expensive over will take the game away from you, will be really challenging to watch out for. Catches the call, but that's through the covers. The placement was right as that goes for the boundary. First runs for All Blacks cricket, that came as the boundary. And Raghavan getting off the mark with that boundary. Taking back a look at that shot. Beautiful placement. And a quick stroke making. There are plenty of factors that needs to be kept in control while bowling such fuller length deliveries, because it's going to impact a lot in the game, as the openers will always expect the bowlers to bowl fullish or shortish, because these two lengths will offer something for the batters to come for a conclusion, whether it's front foot or back foot. But the good length and back of length will always have this oscillation for the batters to come for a decision. Continues to bowl Raghav. Swings. Couldn't get the connection as much of expectation. But what's important is he's showing some intent right from the early phase of the innings. Because what's most important is, if you are opening an innings which is demanding you a low target, all you have to do is just staying ahead of your opposition, because at some point of time the opposition will try coming back strong in the game, with the likes of how India did in the previous night's game. So it's always be you staying ahead of your opposition. For that, some psychological impacts must be done. Dinesh Narayanan for the first time in today's game. Oh, the bats were flying off. Not the right start for Dinesh Narayanan. Losing his grip. It used to happen. And that brings us to the end of first over. Taking back a look at that throw of a bat. Bit of tight bottom hand. End of first over, 5 for no loss, All Blacks cricket. No signs of spinners, it seems. A slight bit of medium pacer. Sandeep Anand, the new bowler. And for field positioning, they're having extra covers at the deep. I've never seen an extra covers fielder being placed at deep in a power play. Maybe it might be a special field positioning for Raghav, as he's looking good through the covers. And a Kaukana fielder. You can typically call it as long on Tusu. He's slightly covering both the regions, long on and Kaukana. Now the fielders were being placed at the deep at the right areas, long off, along with the mid-off fielder. Not sure whether it's the right approach because they're having long off as well as mid off. You could see that on screen. Wonderful stop at the point direction. Saves 3 runs for his side. Quite good under control. Raghav is looking good. They're just using the pace of the ball and timing the ball really well. It's quite mandatory for such a kind of fielding actions to restrict the batter's flow. And most importantly, while placing your fielders in the power play, I need cricketers to have such a kind of freedom in terms of placing the fielders. Even though if it is a wrong decision, they have to overcome that by analyzing that, by experiencing that it is a wrong decision or right decision. So in that perspective, I'll say it's a right decision because they're having long off and mid off inside the circle. Either the skipper would have tried it and would be succeeded early in the cricketing days, or he might be experimenting something. Anyway, it's gonna give some learning for him. Dinesh Narayanan yet to get off the mark, taking his own time. Sandeep Anand is placing the fielders. Some problem for Dinesh Narayanan as he's changing his bats. Slip fielder for Dinesh Narayanan. Trying to go for the big shot, couldn't get the elevation as of his expectation. But straight away got off the mark with a single, running back for the second run. Wonderful running between the wickets. Slight bit of misfield and it offers extra runs on the board for All Blacks cricket. Look at the tournament boundaries and sixers. 700 plus boundaries. Almost 200 sixers. Swings and misses. I love this approach of keeping the close keeping. The wicket keeper behind the stumps and speaking something to the bowler and the fielder that shouts and encouragements will actually push the batter into pressure. Think as a batter, sometimes you're having a wicket keeper standing behind the stumps and speaking something to the bowler, especially when you're facing tough times. Well, that's the real challenge. He's changing another bat. Psychologically, it's going to impact a lot in this game. In case if the batter looks good in footwork, you can keep your wicket keeper behind the stumps. If a bowler is not having an interest to bowl a bouncer, then you can have your wicket keeper standing behind the stumps. And in a lot more ways, it restricts the thoughts of the batter. Look at that. It's like locking his hands by not moving what he's looking for. End of 2 overs, that's 8 for no loss. Continues to bowl Raghav. As All Blacks cricket was starting a calm and composed batting display after that boundary in the very first over. Another one. This looks like an interesting approach. The approach of Corona assaulters were looking really good. They are psychologically attacking All Blacks cricket batters. The close keeper behind the stumps, Korean, is working really well behind the stumps. And he is restricting the batters from stepping out. He is restricting the thought process of the batters. They are not having much of freedom to think and do whatever they wanted to do. They kept on focusing on the wicketkeeper behind the stumps. Just because of one reason, that what if I lift my toes? What happen if I lift my toes? That's running on the thoughts. But still he squeezes it over the point, fielders it. And that goes for the boundary. A much needed boundary at this point of time. And Raghavan gets it in style. Just taking back a look at that shot. Beautiful placement. Gutsy stroke making. I won't say it's the proper placement, but still It's a wonderful work done by Raghavan. That gutsy approach matters a lot. Twelve for no loss. Continues to bowl full and deliveries to the maximum. It's focusing on to the stumps. It's focusing on towards something that invites them to come onto the front foot, which is not advisable. But of course, if you're having close keeper behind the stumps, I know thoughts will be running on your mind. What happens if a bowler couldn't bowl a back off length because he's having a close keeper? I agree that, but still it shouldn't offer much of freedom for the batters. Look at that, he's swinging the bat comfortably. Even though it's not the placement right, it travels a long way to go over the boundary ropes for the boundary. Another beautiful placement. Taking back a look at that boundary we've been speaking about. Not a better connection, but still it travels a long way for the boundary. Swings and misses out. Strong shout from the wicketkeeper behind the stumps, as something would have happened. He is excited. He is excited. You gotta look at that approach. Take back a look at that. Waited for a moment and the foots were looking to be lifted, but not sure whether it's a dismissal or not. Good work behind the stumps from Korean. That adds a lot more pressure for Raghavan. Pressure on every aspect as Dinesh Narayana is taking his own time. But what's most important is you should never have this thought process of we're just having 123. Because in a low target match, you should always have this thought process of it's 123. Another wonderful timing. Having a fielder at the deep now. Will be just a single. Taking his own time in the middle, Raghav, as he is in desperate to bring up that early breakthrough. The celebration sounds will be completely different because it's a low target match and it's a big final. Strong shouts and no signals of that being a dismissal. They're doing everything by doing all the possible ways, but things were not happening as of expected. But if low bounce for sure, but I'm not sure about the line and I'm not sure about the bounce factor. 19 for Nolas with one more to complete this over. Has been quite expensive over this had been. 11 runs came in this over so far from Raghav. Swings and misses out on a dot ball to end this over. That's 19 for Nolas. Continues to bowl Sandeep Anand. 3 overs, 19 for no loss. Still no traces of bringing that early breakthrough. But there were some shades of early breakthroughs. Even a run-out opportunity now. Because we're going to speak a lot about the low target defense. We've seen Rohit Sharma doing a lot in international standards and IPL standards. Even in the T20 World Cup final. It's all about not giving up and fighting back and dismissing the key batters. Very challenging, but that's how it has to be. The early breakthrough must be celebrated. But it's not happening, as they were looking really conscious. All Blacks cricket catches the call, but no chance of that being a catch. Easy boundary for Raghavan again. Add one more to the name of Raghavan, as this one went on to be a exquisite cut shot. Beautiful timing and no chance for the failure to stop that. So this is the pressure that they're facing, because there has been a bit of pressure aspect towards Dinesh Narayanan. But what's the advantage here is Raghavan is easing out that pressure. He's taking care of run rate. And now Dinesh Narayanan looking relaxed. This time finds the aerial route over the bowlers. There is no chance for the fielders to stop that. That goes for a long distance. And a first maximum. Taking back a look at that shot. Beautiful elevation. Reminds us of Henrik Klaasen. The straight arc stroke making. Searching for the ball, it seems. As Raghavan shows positive intent to restrict the opposition from trying, even thinking about defending the total. This man is looking solid. If you want to move forward, you have to dismiss this man. Looks out to be quite good under control. I think playing straight is one of the most safest mode of scoring runs on the board. We've seen Henrik Klaasen scoring runs as straight as possible, even though you will be given some chances of throwing your crossbat at the mid-wicket region. You should stay disciplined by not opening up your body, and straight shots will always give you proper results that you're looking for. That's one of those reasons why Henrik Klaasen is one of the most successful T20 batters. It's all about the determination and the decisions. Sometimes if you're good at basics, use that basics as an advantage in T20 format. There comes the real difference. Now the placement as the fielders chasing down the ball. 2 is the call. Wonderful save at the deep, and couple of runs on the board from Dinesh Narayanan. And the 4 overs, 32 for no loss. Moving with the spinner for the first time within the power play. As something is not working for you, the breakthrough that you're looking for, straight away going with the spinner, the revolutionist Vijay, the new bowler. It's quite important at this point of time. Just taking back the look at the way how he's bowling. Looks like a wonderful typical off spinner's delight to watch out for. And he's not flighting the ball, not giving enough space to go for the big shots, as you know the importance of making it to a longer innings. Continues to bowl Vijay. Strong shouts and the fingers were going up straight away as the spinner came and the breakthrough automatically came in the game. This story continues to be. We've seen in the first innings Aravindan bringing up the breakthrough. Now it is Vijay who's bringing up the breakthrough as Dinesh Narayanan walking back to the pavilion for 4 runs. Just taking back. Look at the way how the dismissal happened. It seems like a skid on delivery. There's no time for Dinesh to go into the back foot and glide it for a single. Look at that. Straight away the fingers gone up. It seems like a plum in front of wicket. 33 for 1 All Blacks cricket. Aditya, the new batter, in at number 3 for All Blacks cricket. Just few 90 more runs required to win the game, as the game is in complete control for All Blacks cricket unless or until some magic happens in the middle. With the likes of Arvind broke the breakthrough in the first innings, 3 wickets in a single over. Like that it should happen with Vijay's case too. Vijay should take care of the innings by dismissing 3 to 4 batters on his name. Another strong shout. This seems like a dramatic start here for Vijay, as spinners are bringing up enough damages in these conditions. That looks quite good under control, as everything looks out to be a perfect stuff. Just single run in this over so far, as Vijay is trying to bring up the breakthrough that he's looking for. Already got the breakthrough. The key factor is Raghavan's batting. He's looking in good touch. He's scoring runs in the regular interval of time. That should be kept in control. Along with that, Aditya, the new batter. We're not sure about the stiffness of Aditya, as it may take some time for him to settle down. In the 5 overs, that's 33 for 1. Vinod, the new bowler, has a 33 for 1 in 5 overs. Beautiful shot through the point direction as that goes for the boundary. Raises through the boundary ropes. And a much needed boundary to come out of that pressure. Just taking back a look at that shot. Look at that. And no need to worry for Vinod because it's a loose delivery, to be very honest, and that's been punished. Nobody were moving for that shot. 31 of 18 balls. Raghavan, the big hope for All Blacks cricket, is carrying on the hopes really well. Because at any point of time, if wicket falls in the middle, things might go out of your control. This time over the bowler's head, and that's getting the result that they're looking for. Good try from the fielders, but end of the day, that's back-to-back boundaries. Welcome Vinod for this game that's having intense pressure. Look at that full toss delivery again. Again, no need to worry for Vinod because that's another poor delivery. Good try from Vijay. 41 for 1 All Blacks cricket. As Raghavan is looking in. Very good touch. And you look at the wagon wheel of Raghavan, most of the shots played by him were into the front foot. That's just because of one reason. Most of the deliveries being bowled to Raghavan are fuller length and Yorking length deliveries. We didn't saw much of bounces. This is the length we are speaking about. The back of length are short balls pushing the batters into the back foot. That something works really well here. We've seen the bowlers of ABC did that quite often in the first innings. And that's one of those reasons why they got early breakthrough and a great start with the ball. Looks like similar kind of performance because after power play Corona were 45 for 1. Now looks like All Blacks cricket were in the similar kind of situation. The difference is All Blacks cricket were chasing 123. So here comes the difference between both the sides as ABC were having slight bit of domination. Now we know got the route map to bowl the areas. You have to bowl back of length. You have to extract a bit of extra bounce. And the most importantly, you should control that oscillating mindset to bowl to the stumps. Good comeback from Vinod after that. 2 boundaries in a row. I could sense a bit of challenging in terms of weight transformation for Raghavan. Look at that, when you bowl at the right areas, he's having a confusion whether to come forward or to go behind. I think this is the area where you have to bowl for Raghavan. If you continue bowling at the same areas, at some point of time he will be easily losing his wicket. Now the biggest question is, will that oscillation mindset make Vinod to bowl one more fuller length delivery that may cast a boundary for them? That's what happened, but it'll never go for the boundary. Good work from Vijay at the deep single to end this over. That's end of power play, 43 for 1. arranging his fielders. Vijay continues to bowl, the wicket taking bowler. 43 for 1. All Blacks cricket was not much happy with the effort so far, because 43 for 1 and 45 for 1 was the difference, 2 runs difference, and it's been dominated by Corona Assaulters. But this 7th over brought the magic. In that 7th over, Arvindan picked 3 wickets including 2 set batters. Will that happen for Vijay too? You gotta wait and watch on what's gonna happen. So that 1 over changed the entire context of the game. Even in this game, they should always focus on that 1 over that could change the entire context of the game. Well, that's what not happening as of now. Now what happens is, sometimes if the batters or the bowlers go too much of desperation towards bringing up the breakthrough, things may go out of their control. They should take some calculated risk to keep things under control. Beautiful cut, and that's stopped by the fielder, saving couple of runs for his side. Should have been a boundary for sure. That's a wonderful punch from the batter. Raghavan is looking in really good touch today. The most crucial phase of chasing down such targets is, you shouldn't lose much misfields. Misfields will never be accepted for the bowlers and fielders, because in a low target match you have to reduce 2s into 1s, 1s into 0s. But restrictions must be there. But here you could see easily the batters rotating the strike, converting singles as of the game plan. Seems like it's going to be challenging stuff for someone like Corona Assaulters to come back in this game, as All Blacks cricket ABC is looking in firm touch. They seems like they are winning this game. Another close delivery and a dot ball to end this over. Just 2 runs coming off this over. That's 45 for 1 after 7 overs. Another spinner into the attack as Babu. One more off spinner flights the ball and trying to take things under control. As a new batter, Aditya must give company to Raghavan, as he's looking in very good touch. You could see the body language of the wicket keeper. He's guiding the bowler,
எல்லாத்தையும் ஆற்றுல தூக்கி
Korean.
இதை நான் திருப்பி எடுத்துகிட்டு போய் வீட்டுக்கு எடுத்துகிட்டு போனாலே செலவாகும்.
He wants Babu to bowl at the right areas, as we're not having much margins for error in modern day cricket. Wonderful placement as that travels a long way, couple of runs in the board. Beautiful running between the wickets as the scorecard moves to 47 for 1. ABC.
அதாவது கேமரா ரெண்டு கேமரா பண்ணிட்டு ஸ்விட்சை வைப்பாங்க.
Using his boots, trying to show his soccer skills in cricket. Not something that's advisable as it is a family channel. 74 of 75 to win the game, and ABC are setting a solid foundation here. But that's how South Africa batted too in the previous day's game. Anything might happen in the game of cricket, as this one goes for the boundary, hammered it through the covers. Right from the moment he hit the ball, everyone knows it's gonna go for the boundary, and that brings 50 up here for ABC. Wonderful stroke making. Look at that. Offered a bit of width. Look at the backlift. He was partially ready and muscling it through the covers over the covers fielder. Wonderful stroke making. Typical T20 batting style, with the likes of Owen Morgan, Johnny Bairstow, many other T20 giants are using such a kind of style. The high back lift and pushing his shoulders forward looks out to be quite good under control. Now what happens is, if you have such a kind of back lifts, you already crossed the step 1. All you have to do is to focus on step 2. Comparing to the traditional way of scoring runs, holding the bat at the bottom and then lifting it up might take some time. So this is the modern day batting style, and his backlift shows his body language. Another appeal from the wicket keeper, as he is not satisfied with that given wide, and the on-field umpire is not getting convinced. What is it? An appeal for stumping? We're not sure about that. Catches the call. Will be quite good under control. A decent over coming to an end, 55 for 1 APC. Continues to bowl Vijay. 1 for 3, and all the expectations were on Vijay to bring up the breakthrough that they're looking for. And this man in his 40s, almost closer, as Raghavan is looking in. Really good touch. As long as Raghavan stays in the crease, if he plays a longer innings by maintaining a better strike rate, things will go out of control. It's already going out of control slightly halfway through the second innings. Looking in firmly, good touch. Unlucky runs here. Not something that he have expected. Just a simple strike rotation formula that could keep them alive in the game. Just 62 more runs to win the game. Halfway through the chase, just one wicket lost and everything is under control. Even Aditya looks out to be in good touch. If this continues to go, they might be watching the ball like a football. Run out opportunity. Swings in, couldn't get the connection as that goes to the wide ball. Couldn't maintain the same areas. He's in good rhythm, but what matters a lot is they have to do some extraordinary performance to keep themselves alive in the game. That's something that's quite challenging. And that's how it went so far. The most important thing as being a spinner is you have to place your fielders as attacking as possible, because in the post power play the biggest intention of batters would be to rotate the strike to find the gaps and keep scoring with singles. Since this being a low target game, I'll take the risk of placing just 3 fielders at the deep boundary lines, and rest of the fielders will be standing within the 30-yard circle to restrict the batters from rotating the strike. Maybe that kind of gives me a lot more cushion to get more dot balls, and eventually the batter might be losing his wicket out of pressure. And that's how psychological impact works, because he's looking in really good touch, Raghavan. You can't just simply dismiss such kind of batters. 10 of the over so far, with one more to complete. 65 for 1. Strong appeal. Korean is very active behind the stumps, but nothing is working as of his expectation. 9 overs completed, 65 for 1. Continues to bowl Babu after the hydration break. That may be a proper game plan in terms of field positioning. Pace is something that's the biggest strength of Babu. He's tempting the batters to go for the big shot, but the ball is not holding on the pace that he's looking for, which is quite interesting to watch out for. Still no signs of any domination from Corona Assaulters as Raghavan on strike, 44 of 33. Just 57 more to win the game in 65. Look at that backlift. It's watching the sky vertically and hammered at the sweeper cover region for single. I think we got to deeply analyze the way how Raghavan is batting. what are all the strong zones of Raghavan. But before that, Aditya back on strike. That moves out to be as a white ball. ABC was 68 for 1. Just 55 more to win the game. Steps out and plays a wonderful off drive. So that is the fielder at the deep. After the end of this over, there might be end change. The batters might be batting at this end and the opposite end for the bowlers. That's how it used to be. Steps out and this time goes through the covers. No chance for the fielders to stop the ball. That races over the boundary ropes. Wonderful shot selection and the placement was right into the 49 now Raghavan. Just take back a look at the way how it reaches the boundary ropes. Wonderful connection. Has been quite good over. Satisfying batting performance from Raghavan. Just carrying on the hopes of his side in a big match. This time finds the aerial route and that's a massive sixer from Raghavan. That brings up his 50 in style. A half century in 36 balls, 55 runs. 8 boundaries and 2 sixes with a mammoth strike rate of 152.78. Raghavan take a ball to the batter. Wonderful shot selection. That was the previous one, but this is the celebration that we're speaking about. Raghavan Madhyaragan, the batter, just taking up the responsibility of chasing down this big target. Slightly big target in a big match. Now just 44 more runs to win the game. This is what happens if we just flight the ball in T20 cricket. I'm not against flighting the ball because Kuldeep Yadav and Ashwin are doing that quite often. But without variations, it's very hard to bowl against set batters. That's what's happening here. Single to end this over. That's 80 for 1 after 10. Vijay Demal, the new bowler. A change of bowling here. Will it change the game plan of Corona Assaults? We're not sure about that, but what's most important is the backlift of Raghav, the batting style of Raghav. He's well prepared for the big shots. Look at that backlift. A typical Englishman backlift. Even Henrik Klaasen slightly has this kind of backlifts. That gives up a lot more time for him and a proper elevation to go for the big shots. One more time at that backlift. Look at that. Stretching himself up and easily picking the gaps. That's a misfield and goes for the boundary as things were getting quicker here for All Blacks cricket. One more boundary on the names of Raghavan. In fact, we've never seen much boundaries from the rest of the batters. 50 partnership between Raghavan and Aditya, and most of them were being contributed by Raghavan, obviously. I think we gotta look at the bowling style too, it seems. The release point looks like Shivil Kaushik, the left arm spinner who played for Gujarat Giants in 2016. Look at the head position while releasing the ball from Vijay Demal. He's tilting his head towards the fine leg. Look at that. I won't say it's unorthodox, but it's quite different to watch out for. I've seen that from Shivil Kaushik, the left arm spinner. That was considered to be unorthodox bowling style, but this one looks out to be quite different. I'm not sure how he could be able to release balls in such fashion. Look at that. In fact, his head is bowing down while releasing the ball. That's the right way to describe it. Catch is the call. And that's going into the gaps for single. I think those kind of releases will give a different angle altogether comparing to the traditional leg spinners and off spinners. That's one of those reasons, but what happens if a batter plays a straight shot? Will there be any reaction time for the bowler? Has been quite good over. After that misfield and couple of singles, 8 runs so far in this over with 2 more to complete the over. Strong shouts and no chance of that being a dismissal. One more close call. Kurian is very curious to dismiss the batters, but everything went on to be a little edge, something that needs to be kept in control. Dot ball to end this over. That's 88 for 1. Continues to bowl Vijay. His final over, and he had maintained wonderful numbers. 1 for 14 in his 3 overs. He's one of the pick of the bowlers to watch out for. And that's easy. This is what Kurian is waiting for a very long time. Finally gets it. And Aditya's struggling innings coming to an end as he's walking back to the pavilion for 9 runs. And this is how it happened. The dismissal. He's not going behind. 89 for 2, ABC. Fulfilling the expectation, Vijay is such a wonderful bowler to watch out for. The variation of angle that made Aditya the fumble and step out. He was expecting that to be slightly bit of flighted delivery, but that's quite an arm ball. Squeezes it at the point direction, no chance of that going for single. A wonderful running between the wickets, in fact, and they're heading back for the second run. Easy pickings for the batters. And Mukesh Marimuthu is getting off the mark with those 2 runs. Goes over the bowler's head. I'm new to the crease, but that doesn't matter. I'll be staying defensive. That shows the kind of quality that Mukesh is having. A gutsy batting display from Mukesh. As you could clearly see that. This is the previous dismissal. Good way to begin here from Mukesh Marimuthu. Some positive batting display, and that shows some quality, because when you're taking on one of the set bowlers, and this is what he'll do. Better to leave the ball, because he's trying to dismiss the batters by bowling such a flat out deliveries. Slight bit of movement. That's one of those reasons why things were going out of control. Glad to go for the single. Even chance for the 2-2. Single to end this over. That's 96 for 2. Another wonderful stroke making as Mukesh Marimuthu continues to score runs on the board. He's excelling right from the beginning of his innings. A warm welcome to Ratna, the new bowler. Not the right start for any bowler would dream of starting off with a boundary. Straight away pushing the bowler into the back foot. Seems like he's a busy cricketer, Mukesh Marimuthu. And after a very long time, we are getting this man on strike, Raghavan. 100 up here for ABC All Blacks cricket. 100 for 2 in 12.1. Now 101 for 2 in 12.2. Such a wonderful batting display. Kurian is looking very curiously. And any chances for the batter to be dismissed by stumping? But he is having conscious measures in shot selections. Not getting carried away with the momentum that he got so far in the innings. He wanted to make it longer and he's making it longer. Right is the call from Mukesh Marimuthu. That's quite a bit of quick delivery from Tilak. Beautiful delivery that had been after conceding a boundary in the first ball. Look at the way how he came back. Came back really well. Such a wonderful, solid bowling display from Ratna. With the last ball to complete this over. Another wonderful delivery to end the over. That's 102 for 2. Catches the call. Strong shouts and the fingers were going up. Not sure about the satisfaction of Raghavan. He is not satisfied, but the on-field umpire's decision is the final. The big innings is coming to an end. Disappointed Raghavan walking back to the pavilion. It's 62 of 43 for his name. Just taking back a look at that celebration and the fingers straight away gone up. Look at that, he's appealing for that. 102 for 3. A wonderful innings coming to an end. Sivaram, the new batter. Hit at number 5 for ABC. 102 for 3 continues to bowl Vijay Tamal. A left-handed batter, Sivaram Ramkumar, bowled really well with the ball. He's one among the top bowlers to perform well today in first innings. And continues to bowl Vijay Damal. Just keeping things under control. He's trying to bowl outside the off stump as most of his fielders are standing outside the off stump, and he's having a second slip fielder. But he is having other ideas as Sivaram Ramkumar getting off the mark with a wonderful pull in front of square. What I love with ABC batters is they're having confidence. Even Mukesh came in, straight away went for boundaries. Sivaram came in, straight away attacking the bowler. That intention to attack the bowler is quite good to watch out for. Couldn't squeeze it over there as he's trying to operate the ball outside the off stump at the point region, but couldn't get the connection as of expected. Vijay Damal is playing his silent war against Sivaram. Whether it's leg side as an intention of Sivaram or is it going to be offside as of expectation of Vijay Damal. Catches the call, and that strong shout. Quite good under control with the way how Vijay Damal is bowling, especially the dismissal of the key batter, Raghavan. A risky flick to complete the over. That's 106 for 3. Ratna continues to bowl as 106 for 3. Just 17 more runs required to win the game. He's bowling diagonal round the wicket. Ratna will be quite good under control. That brings back Mukesh Marimuthu on strike, who's looking in good touch. He's trying to take on the bowlers down the ground. Placing the fielders perfectly. A, B, C are trying to restrict the opposition or to take the game as deep as possible. We should never give up at any point of time. With a wonderful delivery, not giving enough space for the batters to score runs on the board, as both Mukesh Marimuthu and Sivaram were just pushing singles here and there. $15 more to win the game. Sivaram Ramkumar, the left-handed batter, the left-handers delight were always interesting to watch out for. Look at that, look at that. No chance of going for boundaries. Whether we're winning or losing, we'll take the game deep. I think that's the formula that Corona are looking for. Continues to bowl. This time got the slog sweep but couldn't get the elevation as the fielders under the ball, and that convergence is adding a lot more advantage to the batters. Never expected this to happen, Of course, both of them didn't call the ball, it seems, as of my view. Not an easy one, but yes, should have tried harder. As things would be quite good under control. This is the previous dismissal we are speaking about. That's quite unfortunate. Now got the connection right, but still finds the fielder. Slightly bit of positive approach from Sivaram and Mukesh Marimuthu. That's keeping them to stay active in the game. It's always about moving the scoreboard. It's Nelson now. 1, 1, 1, 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, and the wicket column is 3 already. Catches the call, and that shows the sign of disappointment. Every ball looks like an opportunity, but at the same time every ball looks like a dismissal or a boundary. 15 overs completed. 1-1-2 for 3. On strike, Sivaram Ramkumar. In fact, on strike is Mukesh Marimuthu. Babu continues to bowl. 2 is the call, and that offers extra 2 runs. Boundary it is. Not an active field stopping that had been giving up runs, leaking up runs at the end phase of this innings. That's something that had been expected. Easy one for the batter. Just taking back a look at that. That's been bowled way outside the off stump. He intentionally placed that for the boundary. Another one, such a kind of stroke making no man standing at the fine leg region, and that will be raising over the boundary ropes. Easy boundary for the batter. Back to back boundaries it is from Mukesh. I love the placements of Mukesh Marimuthu. He's targeting the right areas to score runs on the board. Just taking back a look at that. Beautiful placement. And that's a welcome boundary. Just 3 more to win the game. Goes over the... Oh my god. What a shot to finish the game. That's a maximum from Mukesh Marimuthu. Straight away attacks the camera. And that's a wonderful finish from ABC. All Blacks Cricket are winning this game, and they are the champions of this tournament. Winning by a mammoth difference, with Raghavan Madhyaragan winning the player of the match of 62 runs of 4 balls. And you got to look at that winning shot from Mukesh Marimuthu. Look at that. I targeted the camera, and the cameraman's self-awareness saved the setup. That's the story of this game. All Blacks Cricket losing the toss. They were invited to bowl first, but their wonderful bowling display, with the way how Arvind bowled as a left arm spinner, set the tone for them. The 123 target had been chased easily by All Blacks cricket as ABC are winning this game and they are the champions of this tournament. இந்த டோர்னமெண்ட் பேர் தெரியுமாண்ணா?
யூடியூப்ல
நம்ம சேனலில்
ப்ரௌசர் அப்படியே ப்ரௌசர் மூவ் பண்ணுங்க.
ப்ரௌசரா க்ரோமா?
இல்லை
ஓகே ஓகே.
யூடியூப்
Iron Fist season. As you could see, there are emotions over there. That's Iron Fist season number 3. The champions are ABC. Smiling faces everywhere. Not an easy one. It's a very long tournament. And the joy on the faces shows the hard work they did throughout this tournament. Hard luck for the Corona too. They did really well in this tournament. Unfortunately, this game didn't went into their favor. Well, that's the news from the center. ABC or the champions are winning this game by a difference of 7 wickets. And there comes the celebration parties over there.
கேக்குதா?
கேக்குதுமா, இப்போ கேக்குது.
ஓகே, போகலாம். It's warm welcome to the match. Final. அது என்ன பின்னாடி பேக்ரவுண்ட் எதுவுமே இருக்கு. It's a match. அந்த பக்கம் ஆகும்.
ட்ரைபாட் கொஞ்சம் அது ஏற்றமாயிட்ட ட்ரைபாட் கொஞ்சம் ஏற்றுங்க அந்த மேலே
இல்லை அது இது
நான் பேசிட்டு கேட்குமா லைவ்ல?
ஆமாம் கேட்கும்.
இந்த மைக்கை வச்சிருக்காங்க, பெரிய ஆஃப் பண்ணுறது இல்லை இல்லை இல்லை
கீழே கீழே இது பண்ணாதீங்க, இது மட்டும் போங்க.
அந்த மேலே வந்து வைகேசி கிரவுண்டு தெரியும் கூப்பிட்றாங்களா? எதுடா கூப்பிட்றாங்களா?
இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் இது பண்ணுவோம். ட்ராப்பு இது கிராஸாக இருக்கா இல்லை நம்ம இது கிராஸாக இருக்குதா தெரியலையா?
ஓகேண்ணா அண்ணா இப்போ வச்சுருக்கோம். ஓகே வருதா பாருங்க கேமரா.
அதான் கிராஸாக தான் இருக்குது. ஒரே நிமிஷம் அதான் செக் பண்ணுறேன்.
அண்ணா கொஞ்சம் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணுமா?
இல்லை நான் அதான் இது ஆங்கிள் பார்க்குறேன். ஆக்சுவலி இதுவாக இருக்காது டவுன்.
இப்போ பண்ண இல்லைங்க கொஞ்சம் நல்லா க்ளோஸ் பண்ணலாம். ஓகேண்ணா
இல்லை கரெக்டாக இருக்கும், எல்லாமே கவர் ஆகும். நான் பர்சன்டேஜ் கொடுக்கும்போது ஜூம் பண்ணிக்கிறேன்.
நான் மைக்கு தான் அண்ணா அண்ணா கேட்குதா? மைக் அவுட்டு எடுத்துட்டியா பாலாஜி? பாலாஜி வந்துடு, ஃபோட்டோஸ் எடுக்கும்போது போய்க்கலாம். கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டம் தான். ஓகே சார், thank you so much both the teams and captains. Congratulations to all Black CC champions of Iron Fist Season 3. Thank you so much. Well played, guys. The final match presentation, we will finish it up. Man of the match in final, Mr. Raghavan Madhyalekkan. Please welcome, sir. "62 runs in 44 balls, 140 strike rate. Well played, well played. Thank you so much. Best batsman of the match goes to Mr. David from Corona Assaulters. Thank you so much. So, bowler of the match goes to Mr. Aravind from All Black CC.
Best batsman.
Ama, of course, batsman, bowler,
Energetic.
wicket keeper, star player. Okay, man of the series. So thank you so much. Once again, thank you both the captains. It's been a long tournament from December to June. Thank you so much for your patience. Man, 7 matches, 360 runs. Best batsman of the series goes to Mr. David from Corona Assaulters. Congratulations, Mr. David. Thank you so much. 7 matches, 13 wickets. Bowler of the series goes to Mr. Babu from Corona Service. Mukesh sir. Cup winner trophy. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. So, 3 matches, 5 dismissals. Best wicket keeper of the series goes to Mr. Kurian from Corona Assaulters. Man of the series, energetic. So thank you so much. Sir, man of the series goes to Mr. Ishwar from Dream 11. He is not here, so Mr. Kurian, can you please collect it, please, on behalf of Ishwar? So anyone. Kishore, please welcome. Ishwar, man of the series, please collect the trophy. Sir, please, anyone, sir. So thank you so much. So one more presentation we are having, that is energetic player of the series. It is not based upon the status. It's an organizer choice. So we are choosing Mr. Raghavan from All Black CC, energetic player of the series. Batting lane number 2 இருக்கார் சார். No choice. He scored 295 runs in overall. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. கொடுத்துலாமா? Please welcome, sir. Runner medals to the runner. Sorry. Runner medals. அவங்க எல்லாரும். Sir, please one by one வந்துருங்க சார். இல்ல நீங்க இப்படி ஒன் பண்ணி எடுத்து. So please sir, corona water sir, please வாங்க sir. Well played sir, well played. ரவினா அந்த வீலா வேற புடிங்க. Thank you sir. எடுக்கணுமா பாஸ்வேர்டு கேட்கணும். இல்லை இல்லை எதுவும் எடுக்காது. So please welcome the winning team one by one to collect winner medal. இருங்க சார், ஒன் பை ஒன்னா கொடுத்துடலாம். நீங்கள் கொடுங்க. வாங்க சார், ப்ளீஸ் சார். வீடியோ தான் சார். அப்படி அதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டீங்க. ஒரு மெடல் மட்டும் அவங்கள்ட்ட வாங்க. 3 பேர் இருக்காங்க, ஒன்று மட்டும் வாங்க. இல்ல இல்ல இருக்கு 2 இருக்கு. ஷாக் இருக்கு. கேப்டனுக்கு இருக்கு. வெல் பிளேட் சார். ரன்னர் டிராஃபி. ரன்னர் டிராஃபி. ரன்னர் தானா? அதே வின்னர் மாதிரி இருக்கு. Captain sir, please welcome to present runner trophy. Anyone? சாம்பியன்ஸ் போர்டு எடுத்துருவா. Captain, please welcome. Congratulations for the championship. So now you are eligible for season 3 of Lions vs Lions next year. Thank you so much. Thank you sir. Whole team please welcome sir. Sunday பாலாஜி ஒரு வீடியோ கிளிப்பிங்ஸ் அவங்கள. சார் இந்த பக்கம் வாங்க சார் கொஞ்சம் பேர் ப்ளீஸ். அதை கொடுமா சார். ஒரு ஆள் கூட அப்படி உட்காரலாம் சார். க்ளோஸா வாங்க சார். கொஞ்சம் நவருங்களேன், கொஞ்சம் நவருங்க சார். தேங்க்யூ. இப்போ பக்காவா இருக்கு. கம் ஆன், cheer up please. சார் அப்படியே இருக்கு சார், அப்படியே இருக்கு
Also a big round of applause for white jersey.
Thank you sir, thank you. Sir, thank you sir. சார் அப்படியே இருங்க, ரெண்டு டீம் சேர்ந்து ஒரு ஒரே போட்டோ ப்ளீஸ். க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம் நண்பா. ஜெய் சார் அப்படியே ரெண்டு டீம் சேர்ந்து ஒரு போட்டோ முடிச்சிடுவாங்க. முடியும். ஒரே நிமிஷம்.
Thank you.
ஓகே.
முடிச்சு சொல்றாங்க. ஸ்டாப் குத்துறாரா? ஸ்டாப் சொல்லுங்க.